fantastic. We have amazing men and women and couples doing this thing. And our next speaker is no different. I remember the first time I met Albie Stasek. It was 10 years ago. He was brand new. Anybody brand new out there? Two people. We're glad you're here. And he was brand new. And you see all these people up here go, could I? Well, 5 years ago, I come back to NAA, and he's walking around with this giant golden record called the Honey Badger Award for being the biggest, baddest rock star. He won like, you are the guy. He went from zero to hero in about 5 years. And, of course, I took his picture. I went, I'm calling him. I was not in EXP, but I had seen the plan. I'd just come from San Antonio as a Keller Williams agent. I booked it through Austin and up into Dallas because NAA was going at the same time. And I tackled Cliff Freeman in that lobby and said, Cliff, we got to talk. He goes, no problem, brother. What's up? And then Cliff leaves and tackles Albie Stasek. The rest is history. He's got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people in his group. Everybody loves him. Help me welcome to the stage Albie Stasek from Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland.
Let's get a round of applause for all these amazing speakers that we've heard already. Because I don't know about y'all, but I've been inspired. And we come to these events and we hope to be inspired. And I know a lot of us are, but I think that the last component of inspiration is coming to a decision. And I hope to inspire you to not go home after this week is done on this real motivational high and then do nothing. Because if that was the case, then it was just a big hoorah session, and then we don't get the results that we all want, the results that we've seen all these amazing speakers get, because I want all that for you. And so I have 3 words for you: homicide, genocide, and suicide. Kind of scary words, but they all mean the death of. And I believe to decide is the death of our excuses. Can I get that? An amen on that? I believe that when we live in fear and we operate out of fear, it causes us to hesitate. It causes us to constrict and we don't move. But when we operate in love, we take action. And action, the number one strategy of agent attraction, building your real estate business, is taking action while other people wait around and do nothing. I believe that we live in a world of complacency. Complacency is defined as a slow, comfortable place of mediocrity. How many of you know someone who is okay and lives an okay life? What about an okay business? Okay relationships? Or an okay marriage? Listen, okay can pay the bills, but I'm telling you right now, okay is not inspiring to anyone. So by a raise of hands up here, now that I just bummed everybody out, who in here has the privilege of being a mommy or a daddy to some amazing children? Come on. Yes. It's amazing. I have that privilege as well. So I have a question for you. Everyone that raised their hand, keep them up. Keep them up real high. And keep them up if you've ever sent your beloved to school, and right before they're about to get on the bus, you look at them and you say, all right, baby, I want you to have a great day at school. And don't forget to settle into a slow, comfortable place of mediocrity. Nobody? Of course we wouldn't. So if we wouldn't do that with our children, then why do we allow ourselves to coast and stay in that place? When you leave here this week, my hope for you is that you have a vision, but we take action on that vision. Your vision is the reason why you flew to Dallas, Texas, to see Brent Gove, to see Gene Frederick, to see Tony Robbins. It's your vision, right? It's your vision that gets you up early and keeps you up late, building your business, helping other people. So I'm going to tell you a story that I have a lot of respect. It changed my life. Some of you may have heard it, but I bet a lot haven't. And I have a lot of respect for this story. So I'm going to try to do it justice. In 1519, Hernando Cortez set sail from the shores of Cuba to the Yucatan Peninsula. In his fleet, he had 500 soldiers, 100 sailors, 16 horses on 11 ships. And he set sail to take the world's richest treasure ever known to man. Now, this treasure was held by the same army for over 600 years. And army after army and conqueror after conqueror tried taking this treasure, and they all failed. They perished, actually. So Hernando knew that he had to do something different. And if he couldn't just go in there and just start fighting. That's what all the other armies did. He had to do something different. He knew that the men that he was bringing along, they had to be committed at a higher level than an ordinary person. So he created a vision for them. He spoke to them differently. He didn't just go out and recruit a bunch of people. He spoke to them about the prize at the end, what it would do not just for them and their current family, but how their children's children would inherit. I forgot the name. What are they going to inherit? Wealth. Generational wealth. Thank you. They're going to inherit generational wealth. And he spoke to them about living in favor. He didn't talk about the fight and we're going to shoot arrows here and you guys are going to go around there. He inspired them to think about the future, which is what a lot of these speakers here did as well. For everybody here, all of us that got lucky enough to hear these amazing leaders. So they start to get across the ocean, and Hernando figured out that he had a problem. His men started whining. Like all of a sudden he had a bunch of whiners. And they're like, oh, Mr. Cortez, I think this might be a bad idea. I think we should turn around. And Hernando's like, oh my God, what am I doing here? We're almost already there. So he calmed them down. And he said, guys, just let's get to the beach. And I got something for you. I know it's going to be fine. Just give me a few more hours here. We're almost there. So they get to the beach. He gets all of his men up on the beach. And again, started speaking to them about the vision and about the generational wealth that their children's children will inherit if they're successful. And then he said 3 words that changed everything. And everybody got quiet. And his soldiers and everything are thinking, okay, this is where strategy comes in. They're going to tell us to go around the bend over here, and we're going to go sneak over here, and we're going to go straight in. No, he didn't do any of that. He just leaned in. Everybody got real quiet. He said, burn the boats. And they said, excuse me? He said, burn the ships, because if we're leaving on this island, we're leaving on their ships. We're not leaving on our ships. And they torched all 11 boats. And something really magical happened. They fought really well. and they took the treasure. Now, why? What was different between them and all the other conquerors? By the way, back in the day, conquerors were like, everybody was a conqueror. It was like realtors. There was like conquerors, there were realtors. They actually had like Tony Robbins come speak to the conquerors to help them conquer more things, right? So, why was it different? Why did Hernando win? Yes, he spoke to the vision, but he burned the boats. And when you burn the boats and you make a decision, there is no plan B. It's win or die. It's plan A, fight, win, or die. So I want to ask you, I know you're thinking, I can see all the wheels turning out there. What boats do you have to burn when you get back this week to wherever you're going? We all got boats to burn. Maybe you're a new agent. Raise a hands. How many in this room, this is your first real estate conference of any kind? Hands raised up. Amazing. So we've all been there. We've all been to our first, everyone here has been to, some of it's first, some of it's our 20th. But maybe you have a part-time job, or maybe you even have a full-time job that's paying the bills, and you know that it's time to burn the boats. And let me tell you something. I've burned a boat or two, and it's not an easy decision. It takes guts, it takes grit, it takes a trust in the people around you that are going to help support you. I think we've all can agree on one thing. There's a hell of a great group of people that are ready to support you guys. Okay? Oh, by the way, there we go. Hernando. Forgot about my slide. Where's our time? 4 minutes. So what boats do you have to burn? We got that. The word decision is to cut off from. That means there's no going back, right? And we make decisions, all of us, for two different reasons. We're either going to move away from pain or toward opportunity. And there's really no right or wrong, but I want you to have an awareness. Leave here this week having an awareness of how you're making that decision. Are you moving away from a bad situation? Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's you're on a team that's just not a fit, or maybe you have a business partner that's not a fit, and you've been too afraid to burn the boats because staying inside our comfort zone is just so nice and cozy. You don't got to burn the boats when you're staying inside the comfort zone. And by the way, you know what lives with you inside that comfort zone? Excuses. Or are you moving toward opportunity? When I joined this amazing organization, I was doing it for both reasons. Moving away from a little bit of pain of opening, we heard some people talk about owning a brokerage. It was great, but it was painful. And so I'm going to tell a quick story. In 2012, I had just opened my first office, my first real estate office. I was super excited, so I went out and did something really fun. I ran a Tough Mudder. And on the 9th obstacle of the Tough Mudder, it was called the Dirty Ballerina. And I was a filthy ballerina by the time this thing was done, because I went to go leap over this water trench and I tore my hamstring. So I'm on crutches for 2 weeks, tons of fun, and I'm going on listing appointments on crutches, which in case you haven't done it, it sucks. I'm on my way to a listing appointment. I get hammered. So I'm on the highway. It comes to a screeching halt, and the guy behind me just cranks me. So now my car's total. So I'm sitting in there. I had to rent a car, and I'm sitting in my office. It's raining, and my assistant, Tina, at the time, comes running in, who, by the way, side note, had a secret crush on Jake Kinder. Okay? I know no one in here does, but she did. So she comes running in, and she's all giddy. She's like, Jake Kinder's here. And I'm like, get out of here. not here. She's like, no, him and Mike Reese, they're up front. I'm like, well, bring them in. This is amazing. So they come in, and they said, Al, surprise. They were here to see, in Cleveland, where I'm from, Dan Kennedy lives there. He's one of the biggest, best marketers around, and they were going there to coach with Dan Kennedy for a day. I didn't know this, so they got off the plane, they came see me, and they said, Al, we want you to join our mastermind. I said, okay, tell me more. He's like, well, we just started this mastermind. It's amazing. We're putting a group of special people together to help solve problems for real estate agents. It's awesome. We want you to be a part of it. I said, okay, more details. Like, well, it's $25,000 a year, and we're leaving in 2 days for the Kentucky Derby. We're going to the Kentucky Derby, and we're masterminding before that. Let's go. Now, mind you, I'm on crutches. I just spent over $100,000 opening up an office, and my car's totaled. My point that I'm getting at, everybody, is that I had every excuse to say no thank you. I had every excuse. I would guess that 9 out of 10 people would be like, oh, it's just a bad time. And so don't let your excuses, was it painful going through 2 airports, hobbling around, the Kentucky Derby and doing all that? Yes. But in hindsight and looking back, it was one of the biggest decisions that I ever made. I burned the boats. And imagine this, if I had not done that. I've talked to Mike and Jay many times about this. I call this the decision journey. Because your decisions don't just impact you. They impact your family. So does your indecision. They impact your team. And they can impact the future of your generations and what you're going to hand down. Imagine if I would not have burned the boats and I would not have joined the mastermind. Y'all probably still be here, but there's a lot of people here that probably wouldn't even be here right now. That's that decision journey. And I'm at 0. They gave Mike more time than me. What's going on here? That's not right. All right. So, in closing, I want you to think about what boats y'all need to burn. What decisions do you need to make? I'm not asking you, are they going to be easy? Some of the hardest decisions that I've ever made were hard. They came with actually a little bit of pain. But I have not made one decision to burn the boats that I regret. They're big decisions. Okay? And I want to thank a few people. So in closing, I want you to think about that. And I also want you to think about one thing. I'm going to go to this slide. I want you to imagine your 95-year-old self sitting on the front porch, and I want you to think about your present self. Would your 95-year-old self high-five you? What would they be most proud about what you're doing right now? Or would they kick you in the ass? Think about this. Because if it's the latter, everybody, y'all know what you need to do. You need to burn the what? Burn what? Let's go. Mike, Jay, John, I want to bring my team up. Because of these guys, they're abandoning me. This is the dream team right here, everybody. Give it up for these guys. What's up, baby? For these guys. And as we say, Kennery, Stasek, and Kitchens, we'll see you at the top.
Or from the top.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate you. Turn around.